The restaurant was too quiet for a Friday evening, and that silence made every second feel heavier. Emily sat at the small table in the corner, smoothing the crease in her dress for the 10th time. The candle in front of her flickered. As if it was nervous too, she kept her eyes glued to the door, hoping the man she'd agreed to meet would finally walk in. But he didn't not. Yet not after 20 long minutes, and somehow, even though she had promised herself she wasn't the type to get her hopes up, this wasn't just any date. This was supposed to be her fresh start, a gentle push from her best friend after a painful breakup and months of loneliness. But as the clock crawled, the empty seat across from her felt like a cruel reminder. Maybe she wasn't meant to find something real. Again, before the story continues, make sure to subscribe to Echoes of Dad for more heart-touching stories, and if you enjoy this one, give it a like and drop a comment. We love hearing your thoughts. Waiter passed by her table again, giving her the kind of smile people offer when they don't want to say, "He's not." Coming behind Emily, a couple laughed loudly, clinking glasses. She told herself she wouldn't cry, not here, not for someone she had never met. But just when she reached for her purse to leave, the restaurant door swung open, and two small figures rushed inside. They were twin girls, maybe 7 years old, dressed in matching yellow dresses with white bows in their hair. They looked around the room as if searching for someone. When their eyes landed on Emily, their faces lit up with relief, and then one of them said, with no hesitation at all, "Are you Miss Emily? My daddy's sorry he's late." Emily blinked. Yes, I'm Emily." The twins ran to her table and climbed onto the empty seat across from her like it belonged to them. Everyone nearby turned to look. Emily froze, unsure whether to laugh or panic. The girl on the left stuck out her hand with full confidence. "I'm Lily, and I'm Lucy," the other said, echoing her. Sister Emily shook their tiny hands, feeling completely unprepared for whatever was happening. Where's your dad?" Lily leaned back, swinging her legs. "Parking. He told us to find you and be his little helpers. But he talks slow, so we ran." Emily couldn't help but smile. The tension in her shoulders eased. Just a little. These girls had a way of softening the air around them. Moment later, the restaurant door opened again. A tall man with sandy blonde hair hurried inside, breathing hard like he'd just sprinted across the lot. His blue eyes scanned the room until he spotted her, and the twins' eye. "I'm so sorry," he said, reaching the table with an apologetic smile. "The babysitter canceled last minute." "I didn't want to cancel on you too," and the girls insisted they could behave. He looked at them sternly, "Which they are not doing." Emily laughed. "It's okay, really. They're sweet." "That's what you think now," Lucy whispered loudly. The man rubbed the back of his neck. "I'm Noah, and these two tornadoes are mine." Emily noticed the small ink smudge on his shirt pocket, like he had been rushing, and the tiredness behind his smile, but she also noticed something warm in his eyes, something gentle. "Noah guided the girls out of the seat. You're supposed to sit at the booth behind us. Remember, I gave you crayons." Lily crossed her arms. "But it's boring over there." Lucy nodded. "We like Miss Emily. She looks like a princess." Emily felt heat rise to her cheeks. "Well, thank you." The twins eventually settled into the booth behind them, popping their heads over the backrest every few minutes like curious meerkats. When Noah sat down, he sighed. "I know this is not how a blind date should start. It's definitely different," Emily said, laughing. "But honestly, I'm glad the girls came in when they did." I was about to leave. His face softened. "I'm really sorry. I haven't been on a date since before the girls were born. Their mom passed when they were babies. It's been just us for a long time." Emily's smile faded into quiet sympathy. "I'm so sorry." Noah nodded. "We're doing okay, but I'm still learning how to do this alone. And tonight didn't go as planned." Emily looked over at the girls now, coloring vigorously. "They're lucky to have you. Most dads wouldn't bring their kids to a date or let them run into a restaurant alone." He laughed. "Trust me, I didn't let them." They escaped. The conversation began awkwardly, but soon grew easy, natural, even warm. Emily found herself laughing more than she had. In months, Noah was honest, humble, the kind of man who apologized when his daughters dropped a crayon under a waiter's foot and every time the twins peeked over the booth, Emily waved at them, and they giggled like she was their new favorite person. Halfway through dinner, Lily leaned over the booth and whispered loudly, "Daddy, can Miss Emily come see our drawings?" "Noah," groaned girls. Emily stood. "It's okay, I'd love to." The twins proudly showed her their scribbled pictures, one of a giant purple dinosaur, the other of a stick figure family holding hands, and on the edge of Lucy's drawing was a fourth stick figure. "This one's you," Lucy said matter-of-factly, "because Daddy smiled more when you came." Emily froze. Something in her chest softened like warm butter back at the table. "Noah," said quietly, "they get attached easily." "I hope that didn't make you uncomfortable." "Not at all." Emily said, "They're sweet, and it's nice, honestly." As their dinner went on, the restaurant grew louder around them, but somehow their little corner felt calm. He told her about teaching the girls how to ride bikes and failing miserably at hair braiding. She told him about her job at the library and how her evenings had grown lonely after her breakup. He listened, really listened, and didn't interrupt once. When dessert came, Lucy climbed over the booth again, her eyes wide. "Miss Emily, yes, do you like sprinkles?" Emily smiled. "I do." Lucy sighed with relief. "Good, because Daddy always forgets them, but we'll remind him if you marry us. If you marry him." Noah nearly choked on his water. Lucy, the entire restaurant erupted with laughter. Emily covered her mouth, trying not to laugh too loudly. "It's okay," she said between giggles. "Won't hold her proposal against you." Noah leaned his forehead on his hand. "I swear I taught them boundaries." "They're kids," Emily said with a shrug. "Honest kids." Later, when the bill came, Noah apologized again for the chaos. "You definitely didn't sign up for all of this." She looked at the twins, who were now fast asleep in the booth, heads touching, crayons still in their hands, and she looked at Noah, exhausted, overwhelmed, but still smiling at them like they were the best thing he'd ever done. "No," she said softly, "but I'm glad I stayed." They walked out to the parking lot together, the twins half asleep in Noah's arms. Emily opened the car door for him, and as he carefully settled the girls inside, she felt something she hadn't felt in a long time, a quiet sense of hope. Before he drove off, Noah looked at her shyly. "I'd really like to see you again, if you're okay with something a little unpredictable." Emily smiled. "I think unpredictable might be good for me." He grinned. "Then I'll text you tomorrow without being late." The car pulled away, taillights fading into the night. Emily stood there for a moment, the cool air brushing against her skin, and she realized something simple but powerful. Sometimes kindness doesn't arrive in tidy packages. Sometimes it bursts through restaurant doors wearing matching yellow dresses. Sometimes it comes disguised as chaos, and sometimes it sits across from you with tired eyes and a hopeful smile. As she walked to her car, Emily felt lighter. The night that started with disappointment had turned into something unexpectedly beautiful, all because she chose to stay, and because two brave little girls decided a stranger didn't deserve to wait alone. In the end, kindness isn't always grand or dramatic. Sometimes it's just showing up. Sometimes it's giving someone a chance. Sometimes it's letting hope walk back into your life, even if it arrives late. May we all remember to choose kindness, even when the world feels heavy, and trust that it has a way of returning to us in the most surprising forms.